Washington quarter, the first clad quarter ever produced, officially ending the silver era. But here's where it gets interesting. During this chaotic transition, with millions of coins being struck, a few mistakes, very valuable mistakes, slipped through the cracks. And those mint errors? They're what collectors are paying big money for today. The Holy Grail, 1965 silver quarter error. Among the rarest and most desirable finds is the 1965 Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet, a leftover blank from 1964. How did this happen? Well, during the transition, some silver planchets meant for the previous year accidentally ended up in the presses for 1965 quarters. These coins look just like their copper-nickel cousins but sound and weigh differently. A regular clad 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but a silver error weighs about 6.25 grams, just like the 1964 silver quarters. And guess what? If you find one of these rare silver planchet errors, you're looking at a potential value of $5,000, $10,000, or even over $20,000. But wait, it gets even better. One 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet, in high mint state condition, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $33,000. That's right, a single coin, mistaken during minting, now valued at over $33,000. Other valuable 1965 quarter errors. But silver isn't the only path to riches here. Other rare error types from 1965 include double die obverse and reverses, where parts of the design appear doubled. These errors can easily bring $500 to $2,000 plus, depending on condition. Off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned, these can fetch $100 to $1,500 or more. Wrong planchet errors, like 1965 quarters struck on dime planchets, extremely rare, and some examples have sold for $7,000 or more. And let's not forget the collectors chasing the highest grade 1965 quarters in MS67 or higher. These premium grade clad quarters can bring in $2,000 to $5,000 plus, simply due to rarity in top condition. How to check if you have one? Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1965 quarter is worth big money? Here's what to look for. Weigh the coin. Silver planchets weigh more than clad ones. Look at the edge. Clad coins show a copper stripe, silver ones are pure silver all the way through. Use a magnifier to check for doubling on the date, lettering, or eagle's wings. And finally, submit suspicious finds to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. Closing, strong call to action. So now you know that ordinary 1965 Washington quarter. It could be hiding extraordinary value. We're talking life-changing money for a coin millions of people overlook every day. So check your change. Dig through your drawers. And don't ever assume a 1965 quarter is just another quarter. Because in the world of coin collecting, the most valuable treasures are often the ones hiding in plain sight. If you love uncovering rare coins and chasing down hidden value, then smash that like button, subscribe to 4K Rare Coins, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big reveal. History of the 1968 Washington quarter. The year 1968 was a critical transition point for U.S. coinage. Just a few years earlier, the U.S. Mint removed all silver from circulating quarters due to rising silver prices. Starting in 1965, quarters were struck using a copper-nickel clad composition, no more 90% silver. In 1968, mint marks made a comeback after being absent from coins for 3 years. The Washington quarter that year was struck at 3 different mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark, proofs only. Here's where things get interesting. Even though millions of these coins were made, only a few rare mint errors slipped through the cracks, and these are the ones that are now worth more than some cars, even houses. Rarest and most valuable 1968 quarters. Let's talk about the superstar of 1968, the 1968 S proof quarter. This is one of the rarest modern coin errors in U.S. history. Proof coins from San Francisco are supposed to have an S mint mark. But a tiny number of 1,968 proof quarters were struck without the S, due to a die error. These coins are so rare that only a handful exist. And when one goes to auction, the price goes absolutely wild. One 1968 No.S. proof quarter sold for over $41,000 at auction. That's right, a single quarter, meant for collectors, missing a tiny mark, is now worth more than a luxury SUV. And collectors are still hunting for others. If you find one of these, it could easily fetch $50,000, $75,000, or even $100,000 plus depending on its condition and demand. More valuable error varieties. But the No.S. isn't the only big hitter. Check out these other rare 1968 quarter varieties. Missing mint mark, regular strike. Some 1968 D quarters were struck without the D. If genuine, and not just worn, they can sell for $5,000 to $20,000 plus. Double die obverse, DDO. Look for doubling on the date or the word Liberty. These can range in value from $500 to $3,000 or more. Wrong planchet errors. A 1968 quarter struck on a dime planchet or foreign coin blank is a jackpot, easily worth $10,000 to $25,000 plus depending on rarity and grade. Off-center strikes. If the design is noticeably off-center, collectors will pay $200 to $1,500, depending on severity. Even if your coin isn't an error, if it's in high mint state, MS67 or above, you could still be looking at $1,000 to $5,000 or more, just for pristine condition. What to look for in your coins? Here's what you need to do right now. Check for a mint mark. All 1968 quarters should have a D or an S. If it's missing, and it's a proof coin, you may have a six-figure treasure. Look at the strike quality. Sharp details, mirrored finishes, or any doubling. Those are good signs. Weigh your coin. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. 1983 P. Washington quarter might seem like any other quarter at first glance, bearing the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse and the bold eagle on the reverse. But don't let its simple appearance fool you. This coin was minted in Philadelphia at a time when the U.S. Mint was cutting costs, and quality control was not at its best. In 1982 and 1983, no official mint sets were produced by the U.S. Mint, meaning the only way to get pristine examples of coins from those years was through circulation. That's why finding a high-grade 1983 P quarter today, especially in uncirculated condition, is like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors crave them, and the demand keeps pushing values sky high. Rare error varieties. But here's where things get really exciting. Some 1983 P Washington quarters were struck on defective planchets, resulting in major mint errors. One of the most famous is the 1983 P Spitting Eagle quarter, a stunning variety where a die crack makes it appear as though the eagle is spitting. This error has made huge waves in the coin collecting world, with strong demand driving prices up. And that's not all. Coins with off-center strikes, double dies, or struck on the wrong planchet have been reported too, adding more fuel to this fiery market. Value breakdown. Now, let's talk money. A regular 1983 P quarter in heavily circulated condition might only be worth face value. But a mint state example in MS65 condition, you're looking at $150 to $500. Take that up to MS67, and the value can skyrocket to $2,000 or more. But here's the kicker, one 1983 P quarter in near-perfect MS67 plus condition sold at auction for over $15,000. Add a rare mint error like the Spitting Eagle, and we're talking about upwards of $20,000 plus for a single coin. Closing CTA, call to action. So the next time you get a quarter in your change, don't spend it just yet, inspect it carefully. You could be sitting on a fortune hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you're as excited about rare coins and massive values as I am, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on the next treasure reveal here on 4K Coins. Your coin jackpot could be just one video away. Stay sharp, keep hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you want a longer version or visuals to go with the script. History, the silver switch. Let's rewind to 1965, a pivotal year in U.S. coinage history. For decades, quarters had been minted using 90% silver. But due to rising silver prices and a national coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made a major move.